tunnel vision that I literally did nothing else. I thought about nothing else. Nobody understood it. What the hell are you doing and why are you eating like a robot? What's this all about? I always felt like I was different, like I didn't really fit in. Some people got something inside them, burning something inside that you've got to do. You feel different, like you don't fit in. At least I did. This is my passion, this is what I love doing. And if I don't do this, what I'm going to do? Curl up and die?
Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up. Get off the pity potty. Awaken the beast inside. It's game on.
Is designed for the elite. Every rep, every set, every workout. Win them all. I'm the headline, the deadline. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, master minor. Big time.
All right, we are finally here. The 2025 Pittsburgh Power and Fitness Festival right here in Pittsburgh. And I know I was excited, but I couldn't do all this right now without my two guys sitting right next to me. My homie, Mr. Ford Abiat to the left. And, of course, we got Ian Valle, two former IFBB pros, helping me out here with the prejudging. Guys, how excited are you?
I think it's an amazing event. I think this is my first time actually watching the Pittsburgh Pro, seeing the expo come together, seeing the stage they have set up, seeing the way everything's designed and done. They put a lot of work into it. I think it's going to be a great show. We've been excited about this for weeks now.
Yeah, as Fuad said, I mean, see how this is all pieced together. You know, you can see the turnout here has been incredible. I mean, working at the booths, you can see the fans that come out and they're really excited to see this show. You know, we've got one of the most incredible lineups we've had in a long time coming out to the show, so it's going to be a very exciting day.
Yeah, and $410,000 won't hurt either.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we, as far as I know, we will start with the open guys here for prejudging in about 2-3 minutes. So we've been talking about this show for how long now? You on your podcast, Ian, your guys, and yeah, we missed one guy. Good Vito had to pull out. But the top three that everybody was speculating are still in the show. How do you guys see this go down? Is Martin going to add, with added 10 pounds, able to beat Derek? Is Nick Walker coming out of nowhere all of a sudden? and bringing his best ever package to compete with Derek, or is Derek just a shoe-in to win this whole thing?
Well, for me, I just really quickly want to say I wish Vito was here, because a lot of people saw Vito getting better and better from the Arnold Brazil and suspected that he might be able to jump into that top 3, which maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't have, but I was really hoping to see him up on stage with those guys. Talking about the top 3, I really think Martin is being a little bit underrated. I think Martin is 5 to 10 pounds heavier. I think he's going to be very impressive, but I also feel like people are not focused on Nick enough. I think people saw Derek at the Arnold and really saw the wow factor, but they forget that Nick Walker is the mutant, and he's going to be a lot bigger, and he's going to be his trademark polished self tonight.
Yeah. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, no, I agree completely with Fouad there. I mean, seeing Martin, his rise over the last year, and he just keeps improving show to show. I mean, he's someone you definitely can't count out in any of these shows. In his most recent pictures, I mean, he's definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. Obviously Derek, if you're betting Vegas line odds, coming off the Arnold win, beating Samson, who was our previous Olympia champion, Derek also being an Olympia champion for 2023, he has to be looked at one of the favorites coming into this. But any of those guys that we talked about, Nick, Martin, Derek, it really could go any way with these top 3. It makes it very exciting.
How dangerous is Michael Crizzo?
I don't think Crizzo has the structure of a Derek or the balance of a Martin, but he is the only guy in the lineup that's 6 feet tall, and I think that's going to be very imposing when you add the muscle and the conditioning that he looks like he's bringing. It wouldn't be mind-blowing to me to see him really compare well with those guys. I don't know if we've seen him step on stage with the complete polish yet, but judging how his Instagram photos look, which is, as we've seen before, not everything, I honestly wouldn't be shocked. Him and William, to me, are the standouts that might make some noise in the top 3, if anybody.
I saw a very heavily filtered video of Michael Crizzo yesterday. Do you think it's going to hurt him to do this the day before the show?
No, I think people like to get the excitement going. I think it's good for the sport, number one, and I think people understand that those photos are filtered. They're not expecting that.
The video. It was
the video, yeah. I saw
it was
the same.
Heavily filtered.
Yeah, but I think that even helps him because people know it's filtered. So it's not.
Maybe some people don't, because I looked at it and I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, as long as you make it so obvious,
Yeah, and William Bonac, basically, once you get up there in age, 40 and plus, you start losing your quads. And I don't know how he did it, but all of a sudden he came back, especially at the Detroit Pro, which I think his quads was just as good as they were at his all-time best.
I agree.
And William, how much of a chance does he have to sneak up in there?
No, I think William looks incredible. I mean, as you said, he's had a humongous resurgence in his career over the last year. Had an incredible showing in Detroit. Walked away with a big win there. And like you said, a lot of guys as they get into their 40s start to lose the legs. He's really brought those back. I think working with Stefan, he's really had this resurgence in his career, and it's been really awesome and really motivating and inspiring to see, to be honest. So I'm really excited to see him, in a lineup like this where you have some really top dogs, to see how he compares with these guys. And like Fouad said, I think him and Crizzo, or Vito, if he was in here, when we were talking about the show before, are those kind of next 3 guys that can, on any day battle it out with that top 3.
Right, and we are just about to get started with prejudging. Before we get to that point, I would like to just mention some of the sponsors that without those guys, this show wouldn't even be possible. We have New Tech, Action Sledge, Sports Exhibition Authority, Superpower, Cosmos, Radcon 1, and Pro 10. Thanks to the sponsors, for the support. These shows need help. And I'm so excited, I can't wait. My hands are sweaty. I never get sweaty hands.
I got to make one mention. There's a guy I've been watching since the Arnold Brazil to now, and that's Leandro. Leandro took second to Vito in Brazil. His conditioning was not great in Brazil, but he looks like he's been putting in a lot of work. I'm actually really excited to see how he does in this lineup because he's big enough and he's balanced enough.
Yeah.
And he could surprise some people.
Yeah, and I also think that from Germany, Justin Musial has a chance now to move into the top 6 if he beats Leandro or whoever else shows up on point, because I think Justin has the body, has the condition to possibly move him to the top 6, which would be really, really great for him.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. You know, with what Fuad said, Leandro was very impressive in Brazil. The conditioning need a little bit of fine-tuning, but completeness, he's not really missing anything. Structure is really nice. He's a big guy. I think if that condition's reeled in a little more, he can definitely be someone that can strike into that upper groups. And as well as you said with Justin Musial, I mean, he has oodles of muscle. Conditioning's excellent. You know, had a little bit of trouble controlling his stomach in Detroit, but the next show we did after that, it looks like he reeled it in a little bit better. And I think if he can keep improving on that midsection, he can definitely be a guy that could, you know, swing for the fences here.
Yeah. All right, we are ready.
Our Pro League president, Mr. Jim Mannion. Your head judges for the event, Mr. Steve Weinberger, Tyler Mannion, Vice President of the IFBB, and Sandy Williamson. All right, folks, we've got a lot to get to here today. For those that were here earlier this morning, you saw a great NPC show. Today, we're going to move on to the IFBB pros. We're going to start with our gentlemen. Tomorrow, of course, the ladies will take the stage. Folks, I want to give a special shout out today to Jim Mannion. This is his 50th event here at the Pittsburgh Pro. Celebrating 50 years. You're looking good, Jim. Looking good. Also to be noted, Jim was here 1971, Mr. Pittsburgh. Still got the triceps, Jimmy. All right, folks, we've got a lot to get to. The order of events will be as follows. We're going to start with our men's bodybuilding. We'll move on to classic and finish up with your men's physique. Who's here for men's bodybuilding today? Folks, this is a special lineup here today. Very competitive. Normally we have these gentlemen guest posing at the Pittsburgh, but due to the efforts of Jim, Tyler, and the entire NPC family here in Pittsburgh, they decided to turn this into a full-blown expo. I think they've done a great job. What do you think, everybody? And talk about prestiges. This show being talked about is what people are referring to as the Triple Crown. As you had the Arnold in March, now you've got Pittsburgh and, of course, the Olympia to finish things off at the end of the year. So we'll find out who is your Triple Crown winner. Speaking of the Olympia, folks, in attendance here today, I would especially welcome to the Olympia owner, Mr. Jake Wood. And, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my good friend, President of the Olympia, Dan Solomon. All right, folks, the athletes are lined up and ready. The judges seated and in place. The only question left is fans here in Pittsburgh. Are you ready? Oh, that was pathetic. Come on, man, are you kidding me? All right, come on now. We're going to do a little bit better than that, folks. I've got some big, giant men in the back who are ready to come out here and show you their best and who will be the first Pittsburgh Pro Expo champ. All right, let's try this again. What do you want? You want the big over-the-top intro? Is that what you want? All right, that's fair. You deserve it. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bodybuilding fans of all ages, especially all the great people right here in Pittsburgh, are you ready? All right, here we go. Men's bodybuilding, round one, group one. On stage, please.
All right, they're bringing them out in groups.
All right, first guy out is Joe Belanger, followed by Pavel, William, Douglas Connor, Marcelo Cruz, Martin, and Ron Gordon. And Martin immediately stands out in this group.
Oh, Martin's going back. A little too early for us.
Martin got excited, came out first.
Yeah.
So Joe, our first guy in the lineup here, I believe he just turned pro. So this is one of his first pro shows, if not his pro debut, coming out of the UK.
So now I got to look at. I'm looking at William, and I can see a seasoned vet.
Yep. Now, as you were saying, the quads have come back. They look awesome. A lot more fullness and sweep to them.
William looks a little bit harder to me than he looked in Detroit. Marcelo Cruz bringing that trademark conditioning, as you see far on the far left. And Joe Ballinger, or Belanger, I'm not sure how you say it, actually looks very good for his first pro show.
Give me a top two in this call out.
If I had to go top two, I'm probably going William, followed by
now. This is where it hurts him a little bit.
conditioning is exceptional though, for sure.
Condition is spot on, but it's just
The glutes and the hamstrings lacking a little bit.
His posing is a little bit awkward as well. That back's not opened up.
Now, this is where it hurts him.
You know, hitting a back double next to Derek Conditioning is Lunsford isn't easy for anybody, right?
Condition is spot on, but it's just
The glutes and the hamstrings lacking a little bit. Derek's
posing
color
is a
is
little
exceptional as well. It
diagonal.
really stands out.
I wish Martin would be a little darker.
Yeah. You know, hitting a back double next to Derek Lunsford isn't easy for anybody, right?
Condition is spot on, but it's just
So
The glutes
at a
and the
first glance to me, it
hamstrings
looks
lacking
like
a little
Derek is
Derek's
bigger
color is
across the
exceptional.
shoulders than Martin. But Martin's got bigger legs.
yes.
bit. Yeah.
Actually makes him look a little more balanced.
And I'm not sure if Derek's legs are smaller than he was
At a
Arnold.
first glance
It's just
to me,
maybe
it
his
looks
upper
like
body got a
Derek
little
is
bigger.
Yeah, but that's what happened to him at the Olympia. His legs were a little bit downsized. Upper body.
Okay, next final group here, we have Justin, Leandro Perez, Nick Walker, and Bartley Weaver.
Justin on the far right.
Yeah, but that's what happened to him at the
This is
Olympia.
do or die for Nick right now.
I got to tell you guys,
Okay, next
this is
final group here,
the
we
Nick
have
of old to
Justin,
me.
this is an exceptional Leandro pick, absolutely.
uh,
Nick Walker and Bartley Weaver.
Justin on the far
Legs
right.
look like they've come up, waist is in control.
This is do or die
Nick
for
was
Nick.
very, very good. I got to tell you guys,
Next final group here, we have Justin, this is an exceptional pick, absolutely. Nick Walker and Bartley
Look at New
Weaver.
York, but he still won.
Legs look like they've come up,
Nick
waist
is
is in
not
control.
messing around here. That's,
No.
He looks very, very polished. Leandro looks very good too. He's a little sharper than he was at the Arnold Brazil. Still a little bit more left to be desired, but he's going to do well in the around here. I think Justin Muzio is really brought up. Leandro looks brought in the conditioning. He looks good, sharper than he was at the Arnold Brazil. Still a little bit more left to be desired. I'm kind of shocked at Nick. I think Justin Muzio. Nick is really, really impressive.
Yeah, Nick definitely a standout here.
He looks good, sharper than he was at the Arnold Brazil. That's Bartley Weaver on the far left there. I'm just moved up from classic to open. Nick is really, really impressive.
Yeah, Nick definitely a standout here.
You know, Nick's done a really, really impressive job of bringing up the legs
And controlling his
and
midsection.
bringing, yeah, I was going to say, bringing down the waist. That combination creates a really nice illusion for him.
It's going to be very interesting, guys. We have
Yeah.
to see him next to each other, but
Really impressive job
I'm,
of bringing
as
up
of
the
right
legs.
now, I'm really most impressed with Nick.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I agree.
The combination creates a really nice illusion for him.
It's going to be very interesting, guys. We have to see
I
him
think
next to each other, but
from what I just saw, I think if Martin's color had a little bit more of a bronze dark tint to it, he would fare a little better because Nick and Derek seem to have perfect color.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, Martin's a bit more on like the
From what I just
yellowy
saw,
side with
yeah.
his tan. He needs a little bit more darkness to it.
Bronze dark tint to it, he would fare a little better because Nick and Derek seem to have perfect color.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, Martin's a bit more on like the yellowy side with his tan. He needs a little bit more darkness to it.
This has got to be exciting for Joe Ballinger. His first pro show, and it's one of the biggest of the year.
Yellowy side with his tan. He needs a little bit more darkness to it.
Kind of what you want to
It's
look
got to
like.
be exciting for Joe Ballinger. His first pro show. One of the biggest
Despierta,
of the year.
deportista. Estás a punto de embarcarte en un viaje lleno de desafíos. No hay límites para
It's got to be exciting for Joe Ballinger.
I'm begging you
Estás a
to
punto
put
de
your
embarcarte
loving
en un
hand
viaje lleno
out,
de desafíos.
baby. I'm begging
No hay
you.
límites para
Exciting for Joe Ballinger.
I'm begging you
Estás a
to
punto
put
de
your
embarcarte
loving
en un
hand
viaje lleno
out,
de desafíos.
baby. I'm begging
No hay límites
you.
para
Exciting for Joe Ballinger.
I'm begging you
Estás a
to
punto
put
de
your
embarcarte
loving
en un
hand
viaje lleno
out,
de desafíos.
baby. I'm begging
No hay límites